The worst thing about knowing people time traveled and knowing people when you do disguises and you have multiple personalities is they usually, as that friend group, never recognize me personality to personality. Hi, I am Adam Snowflake or Dionysus, Elric, Red, Adam, Yuki. I used to be a member of the Sunshine Gallery, known as Krispy Kreme, and I was exit in place of different people replacing me in a lot of fantasy stories about it. I was best friends with Morgan Hoffman, Cami Elizabeth Strider, who earned my last name once and didn't stay family, as I'm Strider household and it's a real family, and she just liked to role play it. Snow the Salt Queen, and Crocker Cunningham Everdeen, who all just like once took a memory potion to completely forget me, call me joke, and then run away with their tails between their legs, turning Siamese cats. I used to be friends with like a lot of problematic people, and I used to know a lot of people who were kind of, before I dyed my hair properly red, like all over the place with everything they did, said, and believed. I have this awful part right now because it looks like a scab, like totally up here. But I'm blind, so I just see a bald spot. But no, it's like a gross scab going all the way up here. Yeah, look at that. That's the gross scab. That's the gross scab it is. Yeah, I am not supposed to know that is there for alien conversion for their group. So yeah, I'm ex their friend group. It is a lot of famous stuff Andrew Hussy's written about. Why? Because I'm Andrew Hussey, and I decided to. I'm not that famous photo of Andrew Ryan. There's a really famous webcomic author mistaken for me that did not write Homestuck and I did, named Andrew Ryan Webster, or Andrew Weebly, or Andrew Ryan. And he's the person who Dear Andrew Ryan in A Very Beautiful Mind is about, which I never lived with him, but I thought I did because I was in their system and they had a copy of me and I'm crazy. No, I'm just like, I never lived a very beautiful mind, but I honestly was one of the guy's alters for some reason. I remember what he did pretending to be me. Cool. I still never had that story with Andrew Ryan. He can handle my multiple personalities. He just prefers to meet them as his, and that's actually where we always stopped it and where we started it with my friend Dahmer. It's a lot of things in general about the person I was in Georgetown as to why they agreed they'd keep the town in the end, and I agreed I was a cult leader, and then I'd be exit wearing bad sunglasses. I mean, we are all just gonna drink the Kool-Aid. This is proof I was a Georgetown member and survived it, and I did happen to drink Kool-Aid. An assumption. An assumption. I did just drink the Kool-Aid with the cult. Okay, cool. So we agree. Most people would just not be in Georgetown. It's actually sometimes called Joyorstown or Jonestown. That's a very different version of the same exact cult. It's usually evil place traps people's reincarnations and family dynamics and tears them apart. Then steals something that it wanted to be Marietta. Then a nice friendly cult demands you drink the Kool-Aid. And then you actually just drink it and then you move out of the town and it was a celebration out of the town and you faked your death through it in the town. You all sometimes go to bed for a second and then you wake up and then you leave. It's never once been like a suicide ritual or anything drinking Kool-Aid. I know it's assumed to be that in movies. No, we just drink the Kool-Aid pretending that we're mad at the town, then we leave. And some of us are really mad at the town. And then we leave. And it's just kind of like a massive moving out of the town for missing persons. But oh god, you thought we died, and that's what we wanted. So no, it's actually usually between that really boring town with Walton and being my friend for like a lot of reasons. I'm supposed to become friends with all the reincarnations that outgrew them knowing me. I have a very specific job I have to do in Georgetown, and usually it's befriending them because too many people are here on this cycle and we'll just outgrow them and restart as the immortal town we are to Jason Voorhees, and we're all just gonna be immortals. Um Reincarnating, pretending to remember it. And some of the families are like that wizard family that's about to forget me forever as Newt Scamander, and I'm Dave Strider, not Sacha Baron Cohen, and they just kind of, yeah, my eyes are red and you can now notice in the video and that's uncomfortable, but I lose my family soon and have to be relocated by Child Protective Services. Until then, it's actually usually because of the Georgetown town and how cult-like it was. Yeah, the cult just agreed I'd get a new family, so they agreed that you're just not allowed if any of that is what we are as a town, and you're not into that, allowed to stay here no matter why you frequent Battle Brew and wear Naruto headbands. And so I made peace with it. I added Morgan and Crocker to a group chat on Discord, and I was their best friend. They did just drink a lot of blue pills and not know which person I was, but if they had known who I was, they kind of would have greatly mourned me in a really creepy way, knowing I fake my death down to town. I can't really die as an immortal assumption. Cuckoo. It is assumed me immortal, correctly? Correct, I don't know, but I just can't stay in this cult-driven town. I was a cult member, though. I did experience cult leading as illusions of being cool with sunglasses guys, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, knowing time travel. But my first ever cult experience as light came at the price of losing my first ever family, and yes, I'm about 10 years old filming this. This is my full body weight. I am very small. I am cool as kid. It's great being kid. 'Cause gummy bear. And I look the same no matter my age, so people can't really tell I'm 10. But I am really 10, and so at age 10, I lost my family and I was a cult member to Georgetown. Cool. Jonestown is the more famous one, but it is still not as problematic as the first time doing this, which was the town. So yeah, it was just an evil haunted town I grew up in. I had the closest, most cherished friends for a whole entire eon that became eventually only spirit world, long distance, and pen pals, called letters to and from the other King Club. I decided in the end I'd prefer having millions of connections and friends over their long distance contract to know me with Bill Cipher tattooed on them. This is not a Bill Cipher tattoo. This is an Eye of Providence, always to Valhalla thing, and I don't care that you couldn't be a god losing a death game. I care that you pretended I brought you into the death game. They were just schizophrenic, crazy, and in the end, they were all Siamese twinned to each other, including Morgan Hoffman, who is not Rachel Hoffman, my friend, but famously outgrew their friend group. And I don't know if I see Rachel again, but what I do know is that she's certainly not Morgan that possession because she's obsessed with Miss Gender Boy. And while I'm really happy for Rachel, this was the worst experience of my life ever knowing the Krispy Kreme Gallery. The Sunshine Gallery just means it's my permanent friends forever, and we add it at the end if I'm afraid I'm going to lose you. Period. It's not the main friend group I have forever, as I don't have a chosen name for my friends. And it used to be all that to me that I would have chosen friend group after friend group named Sunshine Gallery. I'm not usually allowed to have. But Snow was like a shallow cosplayer pretending she was my videos to be hot, as I actually voice taught Snomiku, and she was a filthy kitty of me as Junko, and as Stalker Crib who can't remember me. Thank God, I take a lot of pleasure in her Larass, because I think that was the fetish she would do about it. So yeah, I lost a terrible friend group forever. They were like the worst servitus hystericals. And while I probably won't keep this channel as Morgan and Phil was our channel together, as we both used aliases and it's how he became Morgan to me, and it's why I dropped the name Phil and Phineas. I would like to repost this to all my channels because it's really meant for Brink Cake the Deal, and I just would like to say I'm not friends with them anymore. But oh my god, was it a really freaky cult town to like Dreamers Exchange remake Reincarnations?